Your second clue is to cut 628 squares. So whatever size you chose, you need to cut 628. But out of those 628, you're going to take 384 of them and make 4 patches. And you'll end up with 96 4 patches. You will have 244 squares left over. If you are going to do the method where you cut strip rectangles, and if you do all rectangles, you're going to need 192 rectangles. 192 rectangles will give you 96 4 patches. I had enough of different fabrics that I cut 150 rectangles so far. And there are some that are just 2 fabrics, but most are, there's going to be 4 of any one fabric, which means I will have 8 of this fabric in my quilt total. Since I need a few more, I mean, I've got some other scraps that I had that are just the squares to also make these. So I'm going to use my leftover jelly roll, and I'm going to cut the other 204 leftover pieces out of this. But I'm probably going to have to cut a couple of more strips to end up with 196 I need. I need 40, basically 40 more strips. So if I took, I guess, 1 out of each of these, I would end up with a total of 5 fabrics each, which would mean 10 blocks, or 10 9 patches would have this one fabric out of my 96. So I was trying to get it a little bit more random and scrappy than that. The 2-inch blocks that were donated to me are not all 2 inches. So I sewed them. Some are a little bigger, some are a little smaller, and you can see the difference here. What I'm doing is I'm cutting these down to 3 1/4 inches. A 2-inch block sewn together in a 4 patch should have given me 3 1/2 inch block. It's going to end up giving me a 3 1/4 inch block, and that is perfectly okay. No matter what size you are choosing to do, say you're doing a 5-inch by 10-inch strip, you're going to end up with a giant quilt. You may not need 96. You might be able to get 2 quilts out of that. Whatever you're choosing to do, just know you need 96 4 patches. And then again, you're going to have 244 left over for some time in the future mystery. And the only other thing that you're going to need this month is your background fabric. So make sure that you get enough. Remember, if you're using the 2 1/2 inch jelly roll, they suggest you need about 2 1/2 yards of background fabric. So this is Michelle Johnson with your next clue for February. Good luck. If you have any questions, please send me a message. I'm Michelle Johnson, Quiltinator.com, and I'm getting back to quilting.